I came in about dead middle between realistic and super hopeful.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
man.
know. That's
great.
I was very... now, granted, my realistic goal is lower than what it used to be because...
Fair enough.
Right.
Yep.
If you'd asked me 2 years ago what's realistic, I probably would have been too hopeful.
Yep.
I'd have been like, we can hit 160 when my realistic should be 130 because that's pretty safe. My APH is 120, realistic 130, 140. Let's split the difference. Let's say 135. My super hopeful is 160, 170, and this year we had a lot of that was this year. And we had a lot of 150s. We had some, but on some of my 140, some I like hit mid 170s.
Awesome.
I averaged, yeah. And so, and that's when you really start to, when you have all of that in front of you, you're like, because dude, you always want to be more hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could do 180. Yeah. I think we can, or 190 or 210, whatever. Or on beans, If realistic's 40, I think realistically, if we really push it, we could get 50. That's not being real.
Yep.
That's not being real. That's being hopeful. So, I would much rather at the end of the year end up with an assumed yield that's closer to hopeful than realistic because that's more profitable. And I financially planned for realistic. So, that margin is profit.
Exactly.
That's profit.
Yeah.
It's that has really advanced me as being a businessman on my farm, just looking at all of that in front of me and keeping myself honest on my operation because, you get that beautiful rain that's moving through and you're like, oh yeah.
You got that rain Labor Day weekend on your soybeans.
That's
hot diggity dog.
Let's, but then, it kind of tells you, it keeps you mentally in check. Like, hey, this is my budgeting number. This is my guaranteed number. This is my budgeting number. This is my, because, hopefully a lot of times you're going to come above your APH. Hopefully. There are guys that, there's been a drought for a long time. There are guys that have gotten good rains. Yep. We hope, but that's why it's hope. This is our guarantee. If we can hit that, but you get to that certain stage, you just watch that. You just review those numbers. You look at it, and you get to Labor Day weekend where you've got, because then so much more than you do about the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I have $20 left in my budget at the beginning of the year? What do I spend it on? Don't. If you don't know, if you don't need it yet, just save it.
Yep.
You may not need it, or we can find something to be very intentional later on Labor Day when it rains.
Yep.
Okay, we have a tremendous looking crop. We pulled some tissues. We're low in zinc. Or, we struggle with this. The plants are showing it. Hey, we've got that $20 earmarked. We have this crop. It looks like. You kind of, we at 20%, say we've got, the crop is past our APH, looking at it.
Okay.
We're a month from harvest.
Yep.
If APH on beans is 40, and the beans are, we're walking them. They're 50, 60 bushel beans right now. Okay. Now, how much do we want to take that and say, let's shoot for 65, 70 bushel beans? And let's, I think we can run a foliar. This is a realistic yield bump we're looking at. What's the cost?
Yep.
Because that's still a risk. You could have a freak event come through. You could have a hailstorm come through. You could, whatever it might be. You could have an early freeze come in.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you might, hey, oh crap, that chunk of money you just spent is profit gone because now we're back down to our APH. So that there's that zone there of when the crop looks like it's exceeding your guarantee.
Yes.
So then how much do we want to push the needle? Do we want to push the needle? Is there room in the budget to push the needle?
Yeah.
If you have cash on hand to push the needle, or are you borrowing money to push the needle? These are all things that are
Yeah.
different for every
Which reminds
operation.
me, make sure you have interest on your break even.
Yeah. You'd be amazed how many, well, it's amazing how many people don't.
It's just, I mean, definitely back when the interest rate was lower, like, okay, so
Yeah.
be it. Like now,
Couple percent.
it needs
but
to
now
be
it's
on there.
9%,
Yeah.
10% operating line.
yeah.
Dude, that's a chunk. That's a chunk of money. It's like, well, I don't know. It's just all adds up. It adds up so fast.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to have like a total squirrel moment with you.
Guys, if you've liked the information that you've seen so far, go ahead and check out the full-length podcast on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. It's also on all the major podcast platforms. We're constantly dropping info and more content on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Check it out for a lot more content.